one. This is it. This is the one. I'm going to have more tips on this video than on any other video regarding the notary exam. This is Sean Rogers. Welcome to my notary journey. And this video, you have to thank David out here in Southern California. Out here, he said he's in South LA. David said, "Hey Sean, how about doing a Tuesday tips?" I said, "Wow, you're a genius." Okay, now I have other things to do, but I thought that was a great idea, and I figured I'd put more tips in this one and just pack them in. Now, as before, if you saw in a previous video, I told you to make sure you get the notary handbook. I also supplied the link. I'll supply the link again inside the description. The notary handbook is golden. It's key. I call it the secret book that's going to help you absolutely pass the notary exam. Okay. Now, I took the exam. As you guys know, I crammed for the exam. I used the notary handbook. My last video, I told you that I passed thanks to that handbook. So get the handbook. So the last one I gave a few tips. Now I want to dig in deep and tell you. I wrote 10 tips down here and I wrote the exact pages. So I hope you have your notary handbook and you guys can highlight it along with me. Last I finished on page 9. I'm on page 10 right now. And I just want you to know, let's see, I took notes here for Tip Tuesday. The notary public seal on page 10. Make sure you read that part about the notary public seal, okay? The biggest part you have to know about this on page 10 is the seal must be kept in a locked and secured area under the direct and exclusive control of the notary public. That's you. You're responsible. And must not be surrendered to an employer upon termination, whether or not the employer paid for the seal or to any other person. Repeat. I'm not going to repeat it. You look at that. This will tell you who the notary public should go to upon termination of your job, okay? The next tip, page 11, satisfactory evidence. Let me go to satisfactory evidence. Actually, it's identification, okay? Identification and the satisfactory evidence. Now, it says here, when completing a certificate of acknowledgement or jurat, a notary public is required to certify the identity of the signer of the document. You do that by satisfactory evidence. So look at page 11, highlight that, and learn what satisfactory evidence is. It means the absence of any information or evidence or other circumstances which would lead to a responsible person to believe that the individual is not the person he or she claims to be. And then it tells you what documents that you need to have or you need to see. Okay? Let's see here. Page 11, 2, identification of documents. Make sure you read that part. Let's see. Also, there's part 1. They did ask this question on here too. It says, this is in case someone doesn't have their license has expired or something like that, right? There is reasonable reliance on any of the following forms of identification provided it is current or issued within the last 5 years. Remember that, or issued within the last 5 years, because sometimes it can get tricky. They try to trick you and they might say expired within the last 5 years. And that won't be the right answer. It's issued within the last 5 years. Okay. So, you know, a driver's license is good, a passport is good. They're going to ask you about inmates. What can you accept from a person who's been released from a jail as their identification? You better know that. What can you accept from someone who's in the military? All that's on page 11. You better know that. Page 11 also, oath of a single credible witness. Make sure you take a look at that. Oath of a single credible witness. Okay, some of the tips about that part. The individual appearing before the notary public is the signer of the document, as the signer of the document is the person named on the document. The credible witness personally knows the signer. You got to know these things. The credible witness reasonably believes that the circumstances of the signer are such that it would be very difficult or impossible for the signer to obtain another form of identification. So just read all through that part, okay? In fact, don't read through it. Learn it. Learn the best you can. You need 70% on the test, so that's kind of cool instead of 90%. Oaths of 2 credible witnesses, that's on page 12. You need to know that, so that's another one. That's 5 tips so far. No, that's 4 or 5. That's 6 tips so far. 7, Notary Public Journal. Okay, this is important. They're going to ask about this. A notary public is required to keep 1 journal at all times. Okay, let's see. Here's the important part. They did ask a trick question on this. The question they were asking or leading to was, what if you're at work, you have your journal, you put it in a drawer, you go to lunch, your coworker, this may not be the same for you guys who are out in the field or us who are out in the field, but just in case, this is the question they give. The coworker says, oh yeah, I know what the journal is. They go in there and they do the process themselves, assuming that they're helping you out or helping the company out. Uh-oh, that's no good. Somebody's in trouble. Somebody's in trouble. Is it going to be you, or is it going to be the person who pretended to be you and signed up everything and did the process? So you need to read page 12 and learn the details, because part of it is the journal must be kept in a locked and secured area such as a lockbox or locked desk drawer under the exclusive control of the notary public. If you, the notary, didn't keep that locked and somebody got access to it, you may be in trouble along with the person who may have done something illegal by pretending to be you. All right, let's see. The journal I talked about, page 13, we're going to get into page 12, Notary Public Journal. Oh, know this on page 12. Know this on page 12. Highlight this. If the I cannot read, okay? If the sequential journal is stolen, lost, misplaced, destroyed, damaged, or otherwise rendered unusable, the notary public must immediately notify the Secretary of State. So the point is, if it disappears or is damaged, immediately is the key word. You must immediately notify them. Okay, I'm at 7 minutes, so I'm going to shorten this up real quick. And you need to know page 7 on page 13, how soon you need to be able to respond if it's requested, if your notary journal is requested by the proper people. You need to know page 13 about the conflict of interest. And I haven't reached it yet, but you definitely need to know the fees, the proper fees to charge a veteran. Do you charge someone if you need to notarize votes? You don't charge for that. How much do you charge for a regular person? How much do you charge for a senior citizen? All those questions are going to be on the test, okay? Well, I can't say they're going to be on the test. My experience, I saw those questions. I hope this helps you. I hope Tip Tuesday blesses you and helps you pass that test the first time. If you have any comments, if you already took the test and you want to drop some tips for people too, if you have a request on a video you want to see, go ahead and leave a comment. This is Sean Rogers with my Notary Journal. See you next time. Peace.